As the leader of ITU, the United Nations specialized agency responsible for ICTs, it is my mission to connect the world and ensure that all people, wherever they live, have access to the vast range of benefits ICTs offer. I think that's the reason why we organized the World Summit on Information Society. And I think the World Summit on Information Society was, for the whole world, an opportunity to define our common goals. This, of course, presents not just a huge development challenge, but a huge ecological challenge too. Today, the ICT sector produces some 2 to 3% of total greenhouse gas emissions, a share which is forecast to rise as we roll out more mobile and more broadband network, as Commissioner Viviane Reding just mentioned. The pursuit of energy-efficient ICTs is therefore vital, and I'm pleased to say that ITU is doing a great deal of work in this area. Just like the European Commission, from promoting the creation of new energy-efficient devices and networks to developing standards to limit, to measure, and to reduce the power requirements of ICTs, equipment, and services. And I'm very pleased with the synergy that we've had with the European Commission over the past 8 years that I've been in the ITU, and especially over the past 3 years since my election as Secretary General. ITU is also working to identify radio frequency spectrum that can be used for climate monitoring and disaster prediction, detection and relief, and is a strong supporter of the Global E-Sustainability Initiative in partnership with the United Nations Environment Protection Programme, UNEP, and ICT services providers and suppliers worldwide. ICTs may themselves contribute to global warming, but they are also a critical tool in helping reduce global greenhouse gas emissions. Indeed, forecast estimates that they could help cut emissions by 15 to 40% by enabling intelligent transport systems, smart buildings, and better supply chain management, for example. In summarizing the three main ideas three areas where we must invest into, I believe that we must invest into innovation for new services, in new services and applications, innovation in business models, and innovation in a way we think of ourselves and our future. We must invest in infrastructure development that will lead to more job creation. The way out of this financial crisis will be through new job creation and consumer confidence that will enable more circulation of wealth around the globe. Last but not least, we must invest in capacity building. Capacity building will increase innovation and will enable a more efficient use of the infrastructures that we are investing into as well. So those three areas, to me, are very critical and need an attention, whether we are talking about developed or developing countries. Distinguished colleagues, before I close, I would like to say a few words about a subject very close to my heart, ICTs in the developing world, and in particular the 49 United Nations designated least developed countries, or LDCs. If we think ICTs are important to our society and our sustainable future, then it is doubly true for the LDCs. Already ICTs have brought remarkable change and progress to LDCs, particularly in the early years of the new development, or of the new millennium. Since the year 2000, the number of fixed-line subscribers in the LDCs as a whole has risen almost 30-fold, from 3.8 million to 107 million. Mobile cellular subscribers growth has been even more rapid, giving LDCs a combined total of 110 million cellular subscribers, up from 800,000 mobile connections at the start of the millennium. This is absolutely crucial for both social and economic progress, At both the macroeconomic and microeconomic level, it has been clearly demonstrated that mobile subscriber growth in developing countries directly supports economic growth. At the macroeconomic level, Leonard Weatherman of the London Business School has demonstrated that every extra 10% increase in mobile teledensity in the developing world leads to an additional 0.59 percentage points in GDP per capita. At the microeconomic level, a Harvard University study found that Southern Indian fishermen profit rose by an average of 8%, and consumer prices fell by 4% once they had mobile phones. The next great ICT challenge for LDCs will be broadband, which is becoming essential basic infrastructure in a globalized economy, as vital to economic and social development as networks like transport, water, and power. There are positive growth trends, with 11 million internet users in the LDCs by the beginning of last year, but growth rates and access speeds are still nowhere near fast enough. Accessing information via a dial-up connection today is like being stuck on the hard shoulder on the internet superhighway, watching the rest of the traffic rushing by. Locking users in the developing countries out of the full online experience will come increasingly close to locking them out of the modern economy altogether. So ICTs can help us meet the Millennium Development Goals. This is why I'm pressing for the Millennium Development Goals to be met by 2012 in the ICT sector, so that other sectors can meet the 2015 deadline. But if we are to build a sustainable future, we must ensure that not just any old ICTs for the world, but the latest, most energy efficient and cost-effective ICTs are developed, rolled out, and developed for the benefit of all. This is only right and just. The world's poorest countries gain little from the global economic boom of the past few years, and they generate only a minute proportion of greenhouse gases. Yet they seem set to suffer disproportionately from tighter economic conditions and the effects of climate change. Let me therefore make a heartfelt appeal to keep the developing world in mind during this conference and during our ongoing debates on ICT for a sustainable global future. As we enter the knowledge society, I would like simply to remind you of the preamble of the WISIS Tunis agenda, in which ICT is defined as a basic human right, where the use, creation, and sharing of information will enable us to go from this information society to the real knowledge society that we're all dreaming of. I thank you very much.